Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Olia, and welcome back to our show, Why Not You, Why Not Now? And today, I have a really special guest, my dear friend Linda Sims.
Hi.
I'll introduce you really quickly, Linda. So she was born in Australia. She has a Croatian background. She's been a resident of the US for the last 6 years, and professionally, she's been in sales all her life and worked at companies like Kraft Foods, Clorox, Ferrero Chocolate, and Lindt Chocolate. She never aspired to own her own business until she started working at her current company's corporate office. So that kind of takes care of the question about how you learned about your current business, which is what I normally ask.
Yeah.
So what about it attracted you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, it was really just meeting all of these women at it is Rodan and Fields at Rodan and Fields, and finding that I guess my thoughts about this type of business was that women who were bored, and I hate to say that, but mums that were at home and bored would do something like this, and but I had no idea that there were so many professional women who had careers and working crazy hours, just like I was working crazy hours with my background, but also did this as some supplementary income. But then to also learn just the extent as to how big a business that they could build, and then be able to for that to replace their income in their normal day job was really inspiring. And also, I was at a point in my life where I was getting tired. I was like tired of the really long hours. And while corporate life pays extremely well, especially in the sales industry, it was like it does suck the life out of you. And so, for the first time in my life, I really started to think, well, if these women can do it, why can't I do it? And that's what really attracted me to it.
Exactly, and that's kind of the theme, of my interviews. Is and the idea is to really inspire people to pursue whatever it is that they've been meaning to and wanting to pursue, especially in this time, when so much uncertainty is in the air. Um,
Definitely.
so, what was the main reason you decided to start your own business?
Again, it was more about having that the balance, even though I don't think balance will ever come, but it was really about being able to manage my own time. One of the things moving to the US, I had no idea that most jobs here you start off with 2 weeks annual leave, and my holiday time is really important to me. And
Yes.
so coming from Australia where everyone gets 4 weeks annual leave and then only coming to two, it was like, what? How is that even possible? How do you take a break? And, having regular breaks is really important for me because you go, go, go all the time. So one of the things that really attracted to me, what was really attractive to me was the fact that I would be able to manage my own time. I would be able to go on holidays and still visit friends and family back in Australia and still be able to run my own business as well. So that was a huge, huge factor. But again, it was just that, you know, I've always put a lot of time and energy and effort into my work and being rewarded for it. But it's like, what if I actually put it into my own business? So that was a very, very appealing as well. I've got a cousin in Australia who's never worked for somebody. She's always worked for herself. And she always used to say to me, Linda, you should start your own business. Like you put so much effort and energy into everybody else's business. Why not start your own? So it was a combination of those factors.
Okay. And what were some of your main concerns?
Um, I actually, well, I guess going from a very high income to nothing at all. But I managed it in such a way that I still continued to work at another company while I was building my business. And one of the other concerns was never being able to switch off, which I mean, I think that comes down to the person. I'll always, no matter where I work, will always be on and thinking about it. So, um, but that was probably the biggest concern, but I alleviated that by working somewhere else while I was building this business as well. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah, that's concern.
did you have any, a lot of people sometimes, as you know, think about, what will my friends think? Was it something that was on your mind at all?
Not really. Like I honestly believed, and I still believe in this business 100%. So if somebody else has a misconception, that's their problem. I know what this business can do. It's not like I'm selling a product to somebody that they won't like. I use the products myself. And so if I truly believe in something, then I'll put all of my effort and energy into it and I'll advertise that. So whether you're buying it from a department store or buying it from me, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, what other people think, I actually really don't care. So yeah, this
That's
is for me, and that person doesn't pay my bills, and I really enjoy what I do, and I love the products that I sell. So yeah,
I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's I think one of the concerns I hear, about a lot, right?
yeah,
And I actually did have a little bit of that myself, but I got over that
yeah,
pretty
good,
quickly myself. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, good.
'Cause I was not one of those people that ever considered this type of business, and was kind of similar to you, was thinking that it's mainly for bored, moms who maybe just wanted to have some, a few $100 a month
Uh-huh.
to like just kind of just for
And
fun or
it can be that business as well. That's the
right.
great thing about it. It can be that type of business if that's what you want. And that's what I like about it. The fact that, you know what, we can help people, men or women, earn that if that's what they want. They might be bored at home and just want to earn a couple of extra $100. So or pay for their own products. So I like the fact that you can make it whatever you want to make it, but what other people think about it, it really doesn't concern me. I don't care. So I
Right.
like the products. I use them myself, and if you want to jump on board, then fantastic.
Right. And so what has this business allowed you to do for yourself and people around you?
I've been able to travel a lot. So, as I mean, this is where you and I met. We met
Yeah.
at a trip that we both earned
Yeah.
through the company, which was fantastic. So, I've been able to travel a lot, see a lot of the country, which I probably would not have otherwise seen. The biggest thing is 100% the friendships, the people that I've met through our company, through either a customer base or just different organizations that I've joined to help promote it have been massive. And that I will never, ever lose sight of, and I'll forever be grateful and thankful for. And I think it's, allowed me to and helped me to be where I am today as well. And you know what, you never, as much as I've made friendships through my corporate life and still maintain a lot of those friendships, it's kind of of a different level here because you're always meeting new people that are doing the same thing as you when you're working in the corporate life. Whereas this has allowed me to meet people who are of all different walks of life and have completely different professions. And so many of my customers are my friends as well. And I never would have met them had it not been for this. It's kind of like broadened my whole horizon and broadened my experience of life in the US, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I can relate to that. And I miss those trips tremendously. I
Oh,
still
me
have
too.
one.
Bring them back.
I still have a trip I actually haven't used yet.
Oh my gosh. You were smart. I used it and then had to come back after one night. So because COVID hit. Anyhow,
Oh, well,
yeah.
who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, who
Uh,
knew? Exactly right. What a bummer.
but yeah, we'll get there again.
Mhm,
Um,
I hope so.
so what are some of what has since you started? How long has it been since you started your business?
It's coming up to 4 years now, I think. About 4 years, yeah.
Okay. So, and you started earning those, pretty quickly. I mean, that's, it's amazing, amazing what you've been able to do. So what were some of the challenges and what, maybe some of the challenges you're facing now, as a business owner?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges is, I mean, my goals are, I want to build this global business. I want to have a team of 50,000 people. That would be fantastic. But it's also finding people who really have, who are not afraid to give up, who are not afraid to hear the no, who, will continue to want to achieve their goals and not be frightened by, what's going on around them or what people say. And I think that's the biggest challenge, like building that, finding people who are committed and dedicated. And the commitment and dedication only needs to be an hour a day. It truly does. But finding people who are committed to doing that every single day, an hour a day for the next, however many years, whilst they build their business. I mean, if my goals were to, earn a few $1,000s a month, I, and I'm not saying this to be arrogant in any way. It's like, I find that, okay, great, I've got that. But now to be able to go to that next tier, I do need a team, and I need a team that's working consistently and diligently and not giving up, and just have that same sort of passion and desire. And for whatever reason, it is difficult to find people who have that commitment and drive and won't give up. So I think that's the biggest challenge.
Yes, yes. Well, I think, there's a kind of a reason that there's, we talk about the 1% and the 99%, right? I mean, I think most people kind of are comfortable, right? I mean, that's something that stops us from reaching for more, is the comfort.
Yeah.
And, it's when, a lot of people kind of have to experience some sort of a challenge or a few challenges in their life in order to realize, what, I think I would like to have more control. And then their
Mhm.
why, their why for starting a business is birthed,
Yeah. And I don't even sometimes, yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I also think that it's just got to come down to the person. I think if you want something badly enough,
Yeah.
or you will put the time and effort and energy into it. I mean, I go back, a lot of people are shocked. Like, I started working when I was 13, but it's like, back at 13, I had goals. And, I wanted a car when I was 17, and my parents were really strict. My dad was really strict, and he was like, well, if you want to buy a car, you have to buy a brand new car. I was like, okay. And so I was saving my little $3.15 an hour working in the deli. And, I bought a car, and, took out my first loan at that age. I bought a house when I was 23. So I think if you've got that goal and you're driven enough, you will get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you'll do what you have to do, or you'll work your corporate career and then come home and do that extra hour of work, or get up earlier in the morning to get that extra hour of work in. I really think that anyone can achieve their goals. You just have to be disciplined enough.
Yeah.
And I guess, and have that desire and want. Even if you haven't experienced something in the past, it could just be, I don't know, having whatever that goal is. I think anyone can do it. So, yeah, I think it's an inbuilt drive. I don't know where it comes from. I have no idea. But anyway, I'm glad I have it.
Yes, yes, I know. Yes, and what do you think is the biggest lesson that you've learned about, since you started your business?
Um, I wouldn't really say it's a lesson. I think it's just, treat people how you want to be treated as well. Um, I think what you give out is what you get back. And I'm truly thankful for all of the customers in my business. For me, I know we always say lead by the business, lead by the business. For me, I lead how I wanted, how I got involved with it. And for me, it was loving the products first. And so I want to continue to lead with my authentic self. And my authentic self says, you know what, if you love the products, then you might be interested in the business. But if you're not, that's totally fine as well. So I think, well, if I want to call it a lesson, it's more of a reminder just to continue to lead with your authentic self and what feels true to you and right to you. Um, and to do things the way that you would want to experience it yourself as well. So yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, and I think, it's kind of, I also, I focus, my focus is on, what do you need? Like, where you are, like, what is your pain, right? What problem do you need solved? And so when you focus on the other person, just like, Sarah Robbins says, their interest, not yours, right? So when you focus on the other person and what they want and help them achieve their goal, I think really that's what any business should do, right?
Yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, corporate life doesn't do that. It's focused on them, the company, and hitting that bottom line and that profit at whatever it takes to do. So yeah, but, I mean, and this is an opportunity for you to actually focus on yourself and go, okay, what is it that I need, and what do I have to do to actually be able to get there? Because you actually have that control, not anybody else. So, and that's what I like about it. If I fail in this business, I have nobody to blame but myself.
Right, right. Yes. And we, I think there are certain, like, we have the right incentives in our
Yeah.
business,
Oh my gosh, we've got so many incentives. It's crazy. Like, seriously?
Yeah, yeah. So and I mean, like, from the in the compared to like the corporate environment, right?
Mhm.
Too. We are really not only like our values, like we like, for example, for me, like my values are really closely aligned with our business,
Mhm.
because we're colleagues. And but then, the whole business model is built so that it's a very, very different incentive system
Mhm.
compared to the corporate. So it helps us actually focus on what our customer needs, on what people need,
True. Yeah.
versus what does the corporate need. you
Yeah.
know.
It's so true. Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely.
And so what do you think, like, what do you mainly contribute to your success? I mean, you have already, you know, shared that you're very driven. What are some of the other skills that you think make somebody successful in our business, and what has made you specifically successful?
I think it's also doing like I was going to say what comes naturally, what's morally correct, but it's not morally correct and it's not what comes naturally to a lot of people. But I think it's also the old school, like, just showing your gratitude to people. So, for example, when a new customer, when I get a new customer, I'll always send them a thank you card. I'll always send them some samples. I'll always send them a product catalog so that they have something hard copy there. I'm a hard copy person. I'm not, oh, let's jump on the computer and check out the products. I want to be able to sit down and look at a hard copy catalog. I appreciate receiving cards from somebody to just say thank you because they've taken the time and effort to actually write something. And I think that's a skill that we're losing as time progresses. And I think it's really sad. So I think those are the little things that have been able to help me maintain my customer base. I regularly send out a newsletter so that I can educate people about skincare as well, because to me it's important that, hey, it's not just transactional. This is I'm in it. I'm here to help you with your skincare, and I want you to learn as much as you can about it, because I didn't know the first thing about skincare, and I'm educating myself. So I think those have been the reasons why I've got a very large customer base, and
Mhm.
most people will stay with me, and I appreciate that as well. The other thing with regards to my team, I believe in always you have to do what you're asking your team to do. So for me, it's important that my volume is always high. And I'm showing people that, hey, you know what? I'm in the trenches with you. I'm not just sitting back doing nothing, but I'm here building my business, and I'm showing you that I'm building my business as well. And so I am leading from the front. And I think that's really, really important.
Yeah.
I would not have I wouldn't really have much respect for somebody if they were, you know, a top leader, but not actually doing the work themselves as well. Do you know what I mean? And
Yes,
they might have in the
exactly.
past, but I have far more respect for somebody who I can see is consistently working, and helping their team to achieve their goals than I would for somebody who's not doing anything at all. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think those are the things that have really kind of helped me get to where I am today.
Yeah, yeah, and I can relate. I mean, I see you on the leaderboards all the time. So
Thank you. And you.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think we're very similar. I sort of like, we're like you're the kind of person I definitely want, on my team
Yeah,
always.
likewise.
Yeah. So
Who's out there? We need you.
exactly. Yes. So what do you think is the biggest reason people fail in our business?
They
And
just give up. They give up. They hear a couple of no's and they're like, oh, I can't do this. I mean, I remember I had my launch party and I had two people show up over 2 days and it was embarrassing and it was depressing. And I was like, oh, and I could have literally just gone, you know what, this isn't for me. Big mistake. Stick to corporate life. I'm not going to do this. But it was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this. And I still remember my very first customer, and she's still a customer, and we're friends. And I didn't know her. She came as a referral, which was fantastic, but she was my first customer. And it's like, okay. And I never in my wildest dreams imagined that, a few years later, I would have many, 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 many more customers. But it's like, if I'd given up, I wouldn't have that. And so, that's the biggest thing. Just don't give up. Be consistent because the minute you stop doing the work, then your business starts to, go stop. It will come to a standstill and you won't grow. But if you continue to do the work, within it might be months, it could be weeks, it might be months, but you'll start to reap those rewards. So it's really just not giving up and being consistent.
yes, consistency is key, right? In
Yes.
everything we do. You
Yes.
can't expect to go to the gym and be in shape the next day.
Exactly right. Or a diet. I was really good yesterday, so why haven't I lost those 10 pounds? Yeah, it is consistency in everything. So, and then you'll see the results.
Right, right. And it's like, showing up for work too, right? If you get a job, I mean, and you show up
Yeah,
for a few days and then you decide, I'm just going to take a day off. I'm like,
yeah. Of course,
I
you're going to
can't
get
do that
sacked.
job.
You'd sack yourself, and that's what I used to say to people in the team. If you were the employer of yourself, would you have sacked yourself by now? Would
Yes,
you have laid yourself off? Because that's what would have happened to a lot of people. So yeah, treat it like a business. If you want it to be a business, treat it like a business.
exactly, exactly. You're the CEO, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So one last question, and I mean, feel free to add anything else, that I'd like to keep it short and sweet, and at the same time, make it valuable to our audience. What advice would you give someone who is considering starting, their own business, whether it's with us or, another business? I mean, this is really for people to get inspired. It's it's not just about what we do, but anything else that they may be thinking about.
The advice that I would give is really, and this again, this is personal to me, but you have to love what you're selling. So if it is a product business, you need to love what you're selling. If it's a service business, you need to love what you're offering as a service because people will see straight through it. There's no point in me selling my skincare products if I don't use them myself. Like that's crazy. So you need to be passionate about what it is that you're doing. And if that, I mean, for me, skincare was not a passion. I can tell you that now. I was like, had no idea about skincare. But what I loved about it was that it really changed my skin. And it's like, wow, if it can do this for my skin, what can it do for other people? So I think, you need to be a product of the product, or if it's a service, you need to be a service of the service. Um, and just do your research as well, because you want to make sure that it is a company that is reputable. It is a company that aligns with your values as well. That's really important to me because I have worked for one corporate company in my life, which I left because it wasn't aligned with my values and I didn't believe in what they were saying. And so I was like, okay, I'm out because I don't want to work for somebody that doesn't have similar values. So really, it's really important. Do your research, make sure it aligns with your values, make sure it aligns with what your goals are, and it's something that can actually deliver the goals that you're aspiring to achieve. So yeah, just do that research before you jump all in, and don't be afraid to ask for help. because there's going to be a lot of people around you who want you to be successful. And if there isn't that mentorship or making sure that the company is setting you up for success, then think twice about investing your time and effort and energy into that.
Great. And and I do have, actually, I thought about another another question,
Uh-huh.
because you do have sales background, and
Mhm.
most of the people that most of our colleagues don't. So, and and I hear that a lot, and you probably hear that too.
Yeah.
When people are considering as business, I was just recently talking to a customer who is considering our business, because she's
Uh-huh.
had tremendous results with it, and she's like, I've never considered network marketing, I've never
Uh-huh.
considered sales, but I'm really like, I can definitely stand behind these products. What do
Mhm.
you see as a difference? What would you say the difference is between traditional sales and this business?
Well, traditional sales in terms of being an employee of a company and this business.
Right.
Yeah. Well, traditional sales is, at the end of the day, you're going to get paid. You could be sick for the whole week and you're still going to get paid. Or you could do a half-hearted effort and you'll still get paid. Unless, your manager starts to cotton on to the idea that you're not actually working. So the difference here is that you've got to put that energy in. You have to have that motivation to get up and go, okay, I need to find people. I need to talk to people, because if I don't do that, I won't get paid. So there is definitely that level of accountability. There is definitely that level of, you have to have that drive. But again, for me, you need to come from your authentic self. So for me, it was about, these skincare products are amazing. And so it wasn't a problem to share it with my family and my friends to start with. It was like, oh my gosh, like, I love them. I know you guys buy skincare. Just try it out. If you don't like it, that's fine, but try it out because it's amazing. So, that's the difference. You need to be active in your business if you want to build a business. And you need to be talking to people about what you do and not be afraid to not be afraid to talk to people. And you need to be passionate about it as well, because it's your name now that you're associating with it. It's not hey, I used to work for Lindt, so it's not me saying I'm Linda Sims working for Lindt Chocolate. It's like, no, I'm Linda Sims and this is my company and I'm selling skincare and I stand behind this brand. So you're really selling who you are as well. So that is the difference between normal corporate sales and your own individual sales. So it's your own authentic self that you're presenting to people.
Yeah.
I
And I
hope that
mean,
answers your question.
yeah, well, I know, and I think, that we also, I mean, I honestly, like, I've never been in sales personally, but um I had like a 6-month stand of business to business sales, like long, long, long time ago. But what I see is myself doing is sharing something I love,
Yep.
like what you mean by, sharing like from your authentic self. I mean, that's, I never thought I'd be passionate about skincare. I mean,
No, neither did I. I was like,
you know,
seriously? I had no clue, didn't really care. I even remember going to work at corporate office for Rodan and Fields, thinking, oh gosh, okay, here we go. And we got monthly points that we could use to buy products. And the first products that I decided to purchase was hand creams. And they're like, don't you want to try our skincare products? I was like, no, not really. And then it was the second month that I was like, okay, I've met all these different consultants. I'm actually interested in trying out the products now. So can I grab some products? And that's when I was like, whoa, these are really good. And my skin is changing. And I will never go back to, buying whatever else is being advertised by an actress that probably doesn't even use the product. She just got paid
exactly,
to pitch it. So yeah.
exactly. So that's what I mean. It's like when you're sharing something that you love, it's coming from the right place, and
Yes.
it's not about the sale. It's about, absolutely, it's like sharing a movie that you absolutely, that made an impact on you, or
Correct.
a
It's not
favorite
transactional.
restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just such a natural process, right?
Yeah. It is. I think so. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Linda. It's so great to see you, and
Oh, too.
I was so happy to catch up, and I will say goodbye for now.
Thank
And
you for the opportunity to share.
thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And please comment and ask any questions. This will be on YouTube shortly. And have a fantastic day.